Edward here from erviewer.com. I have another video for you. I'm going to put out a series of videos where I'm focusing specifically on how I am experiencing the input, specifically in describing which mental processes are taking place, describing how I'm experiencing them, what they feel like, how they are being converted. The inputs are being converted. So what is coming out, the end result, is a mental process. Somewhere down in, I suspect, in where the nucleus meets the core, the input then is being converted from the state that it exists in into mental process. Everything that comes above the threshold is mental process of a conversion of the input itself. That's what I'm fascinated about. That's what my work is about. That's what I'm pounding away at, attempting to understand for myself, attempting to show, attempting to capture on film in real time. What you'll see in this experiment is as detailed as I can description of what exactly is taking place, what exactly I'm experiencing, dimensionalities, and concepts and all that kind of stuff. I'm not concerned with the target. I'm not concerned with describing the target accurately. I'm not concerned with that aspect of the target. This is something that I'm trying very hard to explain and express, is that the target, I don't care about the target. I'm not interested in explaining or describing accurately the target. I'm interested in the input itself. I'm interested in how the input is converted into mental processes. I'm interested in the state in which the input exists. What you'll see in this experiment are, in my opinion, very important examples of what those processes look like. What does memory comparison look like? In this experience, I had an excellent opportunity to address two specific memory comparisons, two memory comparators that were being stimulated by the input itself. And again, these are not the input, these are processes. The input is being converted into mental processes. The target was a military, stealth military boat, and the memory comparisons of the comparators that were triggered were based on two previous targets that I have worked. One of them was a prison camp in Guantanamo Bay, and the other one was a castle type thing on the beach of Normandy, France. And so if you look at these two memory comparators, this is what's so important, is that when you look at the memory comparators, you have one that is war-based and one that is on a waterfront. This is not to, wow, look at how he can do that. This is, no, look at how this process is taking place. That's the only thing that's important to me. Wowing people with amazing ability is not important to me. I don't care about that. The only thing that is important to me is being able to document exactly what is taking place. Document the mental processes that these inputs go through. Document the slightest awareness of the state of which these inputs exist. What I attempted to do in this one was to go into the memory comparators in an attempt to locate the input itself. If I could, in some way, become aware of the state in which the input exists as it was stimulating these specific memory comparators. I feel I had some experience with the actual state of the input itself. I can't verify it, and I don't know if that was just another mental process conversion. I'm not sure at this point. I have to continue to go deeper and deeper and explore beyond the describe the target mindset. I don't care about describe the target. That's what I'm trying so hard to convey, because there is a mindset that has been set in place in regards to remote viewing. I am going against that and showing something different from a different light, from a different point of view, which is we need to understand the process better. We need to understand the input better and how it exists within the second reality, and where it is being converted into mental process, and as it makes its way through the barriers and above the threshold. So that's what this is about. I'm going to have a series of these, and who knows, I'll probably just continue doing these types of sessions for probably another 20 videos or something like that, or maybe just forever, because it is so important. It's more important than describe the UFOs. It's more important than any of that stuff. In my view, my goal, my mission, my work is not about describe the target remote viewing. It is about how we interact with these inputs, where they and what state do they exist in, and how we access them. That's what my work is about. So I hope you find that interesting, and many more to come. Okay, input, second reality, input, nucleus, core, barriers, threshold, awareness. I want to describe how I am experiencing the mental processes, how I am experiencing the input once I become aware that it has been acquired, and describe the process, describe what I'm experiencing as it is happening. Five, 6, 7, 4. Angular, large, outside. The idea. This is an idea. Filled. Put that here. I don't want to add anything to that. Now, what is that? That came in like a random thought, but it also had the quality of an idea, the idea of fill. I don't want to add anything to that. I don't want to add filled up, because what happened next was creative additions came in. Creative addition added onto it of the word up, like filled up, filled in, all that kind of stuff. That's what's happening right now. I'll find out eventually, as the input becomes more processed through the mental processes, I'll revisit this to see if it was actual part of the input or if it was a random thought. 5, 6, 7, 4. Looping. This feels kind of like random thought here, or could be unimpeded. Severe. Something else. And now that came through like a random thought. Random thought unimpeded can be indistinguishable. The difference between that and filled is that severe didn't feel like an idea or a concept. Like filled had a feeling of it. I had a feeling of it like the idea process was triggered in my mind. Severe came in like a random thought, like popped in out of nowhere. I'll probably explore both of them a little later. 5, 6, 7, 4. 5, 6, 7, 4. Angular. This is kind of like a random thought here. Right. And this is kind of gives me an idea of direction. You know, like turn right, that kind of thing. Okay, so what's happening there? The word right popped in like a random thought. It moved into the idea generation of direction, even with a memory comparison triggering a comparator image of like a street sign. Giving me turn right was an image of a street sign, of like a arrow pointing like that. I'm going to draw the image that this created in my mind. Like that. Okay, that's what happened. So this came in, triggered the idea of direction. An image then was generated from my memory of a street sign with a turn right image on it. That's what happened there. That's exactly what happened there. Smooth. I'm getting more like wide. And this is giving me an idea of double wide. Double wide. Double wide. And that's like an idea. Of double wide. Wide. Angular. Angular. I feel like I'm outside. Outside, and there's like a building. Yeah, structure. In distance. Yeah. How do I feel? How do I get this sense of outside? This is very important. I feel the expansiveness, airy, wind. How do I get to that idea? It triggers the memory of being outside. You know, memory comparison of being like out in a open field. Open field. That's a memory. That's how I get the feeling of outside. Looking, or in some distance away, I'm getting a sense that there is a structure there. A structure. How do I get this sense of distance? That if I were to move myself across this landscape, I would come upon this angular structure. How would I describe how I'm experiencing that? It is triggering a memory. Okay, I have comparator. It's in the comparator process. Okay, of being outside, looking at a building, and it's over there. It's over there. All right? It's over there. All right, what else? What else? How does that feel? Or my confidence level, or that kind of thing? Now I'm moving and I'm feeling like I'm inside. I'm feeling like I'm inside. This. Let me get this. Let me get this feeling now. I feel like I moved. Okay. And I'm looking out a window. Okay. It could be from this now. Looking out a window. Windows, windows. Window, that doesn't feel right. A window. It's just one window that I feel like I'm looking out a window. Kind of quiet. Kind of quiet. How do I get to how do I come to the idea of that it's quiet? I'm allowing myself to become. I know what quiet is like, and I know what noisy is like. I'm trying to get a sense of noisy, but because I still feel like I'm here, looking at that. And from here, it doesn't feel, I'm not getting this sense of noisy. And how do I experience noisy? Memory comparison, it's kind of like I'm getting bombarded with sounds and noises and voices and cars and all the other crap. And from here, I'm not experiencing that. It's almost like, I'm like on here's what the comparator is like. I'm on a hill or something like that, and I'm looking down like that. That's how I'm experiencing. And here it's quiet. Okay. What about this now? Because I like the open space. I like the open space here. This feels nice. Okay. And from this is a process. This is a mental process. Because I'm in memory comparison now. Meaning, I'm looking at there's a memory. I am looking at a memory, my own. A memory comparator of being outside and looking at a building. How do I know that? Because I can feel the memory process is triggered. I can feel the memory process is triggered. Meaning that the input is in the memory realm. It's stimulated memory. That's where the input is. Here's what I want to try. I want to go into the memory. to find the input. Okay, so the memory, because I'm getting images of previous targets. And it's more than one. One of them is, I think it was like the Guantanamo Bay. One of them is Guantanamo Bay. And the other one, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it was like an old castle or something like that. Like, yeah, like an old castle, like next to water. In Ireland. No, it was in France. In France. I think it was Normandy. Okay. Now what is happening right here? I am going into the memory that this input is resonating in. It's resonating. It is stimulated. The comparators, his memory comparators, and I'm going into those memories in an attempt to find the actual input. And the images are from two previous targets. One of them was Guantanamo Bay, and again I'm outside, and there's the buildings, and there's a fence and trees and hill in the background. The other one is this kind of castle in Normandy, France. And the perspective is the castle's down there, and there's water and sand and beach and that kind of thing. Those are the memories. So in these memories is the input itself. The input itself. I want to go to the input itself. I'm not. I'll acknowledge these. What has been triggered here. I'll acknowledge what has been stimulated or illuminated. I'll acknowledge that. But in there is the essence of the input itself. All right, let me try this. All right, let me try this. I want to direct myself to the essence of the actual input, and how do I term it? I want to resonate it with it. I want to synchronize with it. What's the best word for me that has the most impact on me? Experience it, resonate with it. I want to experience it, I want to resonate with it. Resonate with it. I want to resonate with it. I can feel it now. I can feel in those memories there is the essence of the input itself. Black. What else? How else? I want to experience the essence now. What is in it? I'm in right now. I'm triggering a barrier. And I feel it as a belief barrier. This is a deep process, like I'm trying to stop myself. I feel like it's a belief barrier. I want to move. I want to breathe and release the tension. Release the tension. There's some fears. What I'm experiencing is internally some fear, trepidation. this isn't really an AI as much as it is, this is my own inner process. It's an inner process. I'm still feeling like I'm right on the essence of the input, but I have to acknowledge how I'm reacting to the notion of resonating with the actual essence of the input itself. Triggered fear, trepidation. Why? Why would I be afraid of that? What would I be afraid of? Are you afraid of succeeding? Afraid of doing it? Afraid of what it might mean? Afraid of what? Losing control? I want to acknowledge my emotional reaction, and so that I can move through it to the essence. I still feel the essence of the input itself. Okay, I feel that this has kind of calmed down a little bit now that I've addressed it. To be okay with it. Now the input itself, I am getting, structure, building, tan color, angular, I feel like there is some centralized long thing here that feels like there's like some, either girders or maybe windows or something like that, but I'm getting, or at least it's processing as tan colors, silver colors, metallic, stone, that kind of thing. It's like it's, kind of elevator-like. Like that, like an elevator, like, glass, windows, that kind of thing. I still feel like I'm outside. The input itself, I still feel like I'm outside. I feel like I'm more like here now, looking out. This is how I'm experiencing it now. I've moved through space, and I'm here now. A random thought came in, choking. What about this filled? Anything come from that? Filled or double wide? Clanking, angular, large, random thoughts coming in, suitcase. I don't know if those are random thoughts or unimpeded. They could be unimpeded. People. It's giving me this image, an image of people with suitcases, around here, Suitcases is giving me, this could be creative addition, but people in suits, it kind of has that kind of sterile feel. These could be just memory comparison or creative additions off of the word suitcase Suitcase filled. Suitcase filled. All right. Okay. So the objective in this was to explain what or describe the experience of these processes. This feels strong to me. You know, there is something here. There are windows here. I am on the outside looking at it. These memory comparators were triggered by the input. I did feel these things as I came upon the essence of the input in the memories, where the input was illuminated in the memories somewhere in my brain where these memories exist. I did have a sense of fear and trepidation. I became fearful of addressing the input itself. Intimidated is more like it. It made me feel intimidated to actually come upon the essence of the input. The essence of the input, which is sparkly. Essence of input, sparkly. How do you spell that? You know, like it's. This goes more into the state in which the input exists, which is what I'm interested in. The state in which the input exists. In that memory, when I come upon it, I experience this intimidation feeling. Like as a human being, I'm afraid of the input, the essence of the input. I don't care about what it is. I don't care about the point in time and space. The input itself made me feel intimidated and afraid. But it's if I'm not creating the process of it, it has an essence of being sparkly, like a spark. Yeah. Like a spark. I have that image in my mind. I have an image in my mind of this spark. I don't know if it's the actual input or if it is a creative addition. Okay, and on that.